In the second video of part one, which is all about finding ideas and types of books for your low content publishing empire, we're going to talk specifically about finding ideas for your books. So in this video, I'm just going to kind of give you some general ideas for finding ideas, and then we're going to dive into each of the types of categories that we already discussed. I'm going to give you ideas for no content books, low content books, and medium content, and those will each be their own videos. So let's just talk general first. What you will see a lot of people saying is go online, go to Amazon, and find out what's selling well, and then make your own version of it. And I don't like that approach for two reasons. The idea behind it sort of makes sense. Obviously you want to provide a product that people are actually looking for. And that's particularly important online because there's no kind of point of sale, like when you're standing in the check stand and you see a magazine and some of the titles kind of are like interesting to you, and you end up buying a magazine, you didn't plan on it. Or, there's all sorts of fun little trinkets at the check stand, those kind of point of sale add-ons. You don't have that online. You have to be specifically looking for something. You don't generally end up just stumbling across something interesting. So that is a good reason to provide what people are looking for. But, with billions of people in the world, there's a market for almost anything. So, I don't think that you need to go for the most popular things. And I think problem number one with that is that let's take gratitude journals. If you decide that there's a lot of gratitude journals that are doing really, really well, but you also might notice there's like over 500,000 gratitude journals in the search results on Amazon. So you're going to be number 500,001, which means that in order to get found, because nobody scrolls past the first page usually, let alone the first few pages, let alone all the way to page 5,000 or whatever you would be on, you need to be able to do your own marketing and drive your own traffic to your book listing. And once it starts selling and converting, then it will move up the ranks in Amazon. But before that, if you are just wanting to, use good keywords, good cover, etc., doing something that's ultra competitive that already has a lot of results is not the way to go about that. You need to really find the smaller corners where there is not as many results. So I think finding something that's selling, but there's maybe only a page of results, that's kind of the sweet spot. If you can get on page one without doing anything other than good keywords, that's a great niche to be in. You may not sell a lot, but again, if you do something in a super competitive niche, you're not going to sell a lot anyways because you are so far down the listings, down the rankings, that no one's ever going to find you. So, and again, caveat, if you do your own marketing, then yes, they may find you. But some people don't want to do that. They just want to put the books out there silently and rely on keywords to get found. So the other thing I don't like about the technique of just find the bestsellers and do your own version is I believe it's a little bit of a lazy cop-out by the people who are teaching it. And what I mean by that is every time something new comes out, I've been online since 2012, and whether it's writing Kindle ebooks or Amazon FBA or merch by Amazon, and now the KDP print books, it's always the same advice. Find out what's selling and do your own version of it. And so I feel like it's a little bit lazy. Like the people who were doing ebooks took the same technique and applied it to FBA, and then they took that technique and applied it to merch. And, those are all different businesses. So I don't think you can just say what works in one thing works in another. And I also believe that if you're one of the first ones into a new kind of area, so to speak, like let's say when Merch by Amazon launched, I think 2015 or 2016, those people that were on board first did really well, and they were able to use that technique because there wasn't as much competition. And then those are the people that started teaching it to the next generation, so to speak, of merch people. And, it doesn't work as well. The more time that goes by, the more people that are doing it, the more competition there is, and the more people using those exact same techniques to find out what to sell, the more crowded it's going to be, and the less successful people coming kind of late to the party are going to be. And I also want to say, okay, it's 2020 as I'm recording this. It's spring 2020. There's a lot of so-called gurus who are saying this is brand new and hot and it's wide open. That's not necessarily true. People have been doing low content books for a while. I mean, I've taken courses that date back to like 2015 for low content books. So there's been people doing it for a while. So don't necessarily believe that this is brand new. It's not. So what should you do instead? Start with your own life. So what are problems that you have solved? And, what are you interested in? What do you think you could make a book about? And not have to do a whole bunch of research, because part of the appeal of this business is it doesn't take as much work as some other things. So, obviously starting with something you know about already is going to make it easier than having to do a bunch of research about something you know nothing about, but it's on the bestseller list, so maybe you should make a book about it, right? So start with what you know, and don't just think the usual, well, I know how to cook and this is my job, I'm a teacher and I know how to do this, but also think about the little kind of side things to that. So for example, I teach at a college, so I use PowerPoint. So, I wouldn't call myself a PowerPoint expert, but because of my job, one of the things I have to know how to use is PowerPoint. I also teach online classes, therefore I would be qualified to talk about online courses because it's part of my day job. It's not, my job title, but it's something I have to do in relation to my job. So think about the things that you do, the hobbies, the sports you play, the job you do, the education and courses that you've taken, and not just those things themselves, but the things that you have, the skills that you need to have in order to do those. So one place to look might be on your resume. Usually there's a section on a resume to list the skills that you have, proficient in Microsoft Word or whatever. So look at the skills that you could put on a resume and think about that. Because online and in general, any business is based on fulfilling the wants and needs of your customers. So, the wants might be a little bit more frivolous. It might be, I want to get a gift for my friend and she likes cats, so I want to get her a funny cat mug. So that would be a want. But needs are things like, obviously, the things that we need that are essential for life, like food. But needs might also be, I need to fix my, leaky faucet, and I don't know how. And so I'm going to look on the internet to find a solution to how to fix my leaky faucet. So, almost everything in business is the exchange of a solution for some want or need for money. So think about that. What can you provide to someone else that would be of value to them, that would be worth buying? And then translate that into a book. So talk to people, listen to people, pay attention on social media, both to what people are sharing. The things that get shared are usually the things that people are passionate about. I mean, think about it yourself. You don't share anything and everything. You share things that are an expression of who you are, or that you think is really important that other people should know about. And then look in groups, especially groups related to niches that you want to work in, and see what questions get asked over and over again. Those questions that keep recurring, those are problems that people have that need to be solved. You can also browse the library for different topic ideas. And I think browsing through the nonfiction is a great idea, especially if it's not like a massive library. If it's kind of a mid-sized library, it's going to have a good variety of books, but you're not going to have great big shelves all about the one topic. You might have 4 or 5 books about beekeeping, and then it'll move on to the next topic. So it makes it a very easy way to just kind of gaze through the shelves and find topic ideas that might be interesting to you, or that maybe you had forgotten about, that, oh yeah, I used to read about that and I forgot I knew how to do that. You can also do the same thing virtually by going to the online library catalog. A lot of the software will give you the option to browse nearby books. So you could start with, say, beekeeping, and then browse nearby call numbers, and then you could find maybe subtopics that way. Go to bookstores. A lot of bookstores have sections of low content books, for example, particularly journals, planners, and notebooks. So take a look at what they're stocking. Their buyers are trying to buy the things that they know that they can move, that will sell. So take a look at that for ideas and inspiration. Also pay attention to any brands or publishing companies that you see that are releasing journals, planners, etc., puzzle books, and make a note of those publishing companies or brand names and visit their website. See what else they have. Now, you're not trying to copy what they're doing, but you just want to get some ideas about the types of books and the types of topics that you can address in your books. And then when you are searching online, obviously you can search for what other books are out there, but also take a look at what is out there using the keyword printables, so like garden printables, or use the keyword binders. And so printables are going to be very similar documents to low content books, except they're digital files that people can print out themselves. They're usually sold in smaller packs. And then a binder is like a printable that's maybe a larger themed pack. So it might be a budgeting binder, or a home organization binder, or a gardening binder. And so they're both similar, but those are both good keywords to search for inspiration. And then also don't discount the fact that you can also take your book that you've created and convert it into a printable or a binder and sell it either on your own website or on Etsy or any other Gumroad, anywhere else that you can sell digital files. And that will give you a chance to repurpose the work that you've already done into another revenue stream. So hopefully this gives you an idea kind of generally of where to find ideas and inspiration for your books, particularly in terms of topics for your books. And in the next few videos, we're going to go back through our categories of no content, low content, and medium content, and talk again more about types of books, and then give you some specific ideas for each of those types of books. So I'll see you there.